Hello guys, it is me, Farhad. Today's video is not a gaming video, it's just a video about me, I guess, getting rid of phone space and whatnot. Anyway. So I visited stations from MSU, which is Montclair State University, all the way to New York. And of course a bonus station, Hoboken, so the Montclair Boonton line goes from Hackettstown to Hoboken, but for this video I'm just gonna be talking about the trains from this certain line, which is the MSU to New York line. Yeah, so trains don't fully run from Hackettstown to New York via the Montclair Boonton line. They just they run from MSU, which is a college station, to New York, visiting every Montclair Boonton line station from the MSU to New York, sometimes Hoboken line, not including Little Falls to Dover to Hackettstown stations. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll visit those stations in the near future, someday. Montclair State University. It's a weekday station with, of course, holiday schedule exceptions because, yeah. So basically, the stations from MSU to Walnut Street are mostly weekday stations with holiday schedule exceptions due to the fact that they are, unfortunately, weekday stations. Stations from Bay Street to Hoboken, they're all like weekday and weekend schedule. But with out of the way, okay. So I visited the station in July 2025, and it was a one-time station visit because I just wanted that one time to be awkward at a college and be like, oh my god, this is a NJ Transit station at a college. Man, I wish I went to this college. I like the station for being one of the only stations in this line with Bay Street, Wayne Route 23, Dover, and Mount Arlington stations having high accessible platforms, like high elevated platforms, like the whole station elevated. Beautiful. Meaning you could walk onto the train instead of climbing it, which I really love to do. Just walk into the train. But with that being said, I like the exterior of the station, really clean and nice for a college station. If I went to college here, I would love to take the train to New York, Secaucus, Newark Broad Street, and Hoboken, and of course sometimes Dover. This station is mainly a terminus for the New York line, but there is service from Hoboken to Dover / Hackettstown for the Montclair line stopping here, so it could probably, like, I guess, change into a diesel train, since I think any trains going past MSU is non-electrified, if I'm being correct. But yeah, mainly just to like configure stuff and whatnot. There are also a few trains that start here and terminate to go to Hoboken, as I kind of said, like, since MSU has its trains heading to Hoboken, and there are some Hoboken trains terminating at MSU instead of like going to Dover or something. MSU is a weekday terminus since the weekend schedule abandoned stations pretty much past Bay Street to like Mountain Lakes. Yeah, Denville and Dover are technically weekend stations since the Morrison-Essex line kind of covers that station for trains going to Dover. The weekend schedule for the Montclair Boonton line, it sucks because it's 2 hours per train, and yeah, it's a Bay Street to Hoboken shuttle, which stinks. Montclair Heights, a weekday station as well. The station is also served by the college nearby, so basically there are technically two college stations that are like really in the close proximity to each other. Montclair Heights and Montclair State University, but I like how this station is like outside the college, not really inside like the actual MSU station. I did wish it had full high accessible platforms like the MSU station, but this kind of works. It's served more like for the community and people who go to the college here. This station is the only station from the MSU to New York / Hoboken line to have mini high platforms, and what I mean is for this line, like not including the other stations on the Montclair Boonton line or like any other line. I'm talking about this line, like from MSU to New York. Only station with many high accessible platforms, which I find is very bullshitting. Most of the stations from Montclair Heights to Bay Street have these railroad crossings, which I think is really cool. And of course, since the street is not really elevated here as compared to like Bloomfield and Watchung Avenue, or below street level like Glen Ridge and Watsessing Avenue. Overall, I like this station. It's nice. Yeah, it's a nice station. Dark, empty, waiting area, but hey, it might get light up in the nighttime. Who knows? This is Montclair Heights. Little station view from the ADA platform that is very higher than the regular platform. So this is for like boarding the train if you don't want to like walk up on it, or if you have disability or whatnot. This actually looks, wait, is this thing gonna fall off? Nope, it's structurally sound. W. Mountain Avenue, a weekday station as well. I should really stop saying like when these stations are like weekday or weekend, but okay, you know what, I'll stop saying like when these stations get used. One of the few stations here that is really nested in a neighborhood. And no, this is not the Mountain Station on the Morrison Essex line. And I like the nearby neighborhood. It's really nice. It has a good parking lot. It's, I think, a mix of elevated and like on street level, because one side you have to walk up onto the station, but the other side you just walk to the station because of how like how the place is. I mean, Montclair, it's kind of uphill and downhill. It has its curves and detours and whatnot. I feel jealous of those who live near the station. It's a good station place to capture trains arriving and even take trains to Newark, Hoboken, or New York. Honestly, an old beauty of a station. Upper Montclair. This is the only station I believe to have a restaurant on the inbound platform. Of course, I don't know if there's other stations that have this kind of like layout where like the inbound platform has a restaurant wall there. The station is near a park, which is pretty cool as well. I love the station because it has a CVS with the Spider-Verse CMF series, which I totally did gamble for. It was a funny thing. I did manage to like
awesome, cool.
do like a whole gambling thing and get like 4 Miguel O'Hara's. It's pretty crazy. Overall, the station's nice. It does have that sign that's leaning down though.
So this kind of counts as a waiting area, technically, for the station.
It's a crazy sign that the sign is leaning down, and if the sign's leaning down, that's probably not a good thing actually. Really good railroad crossing here.
Yeah. Okay, that was awkward. You know what? I'm gonna go behind the station now.
Watchung Avenue. So I did a video on this where I went from Watsessing Avenue to Watchung Avenue. The station is in Montclair, served by 2 buses, and is elevated off the ground, like Bloomfield. I remember doing a video where I went to the station from Watsessing to Watchung, which is funny since they both start with the letter W, have avenue in their name, and kind of share the Wat part. The only thing different is that Watsessing Avenue is in Bloomfield and Watchung is in Montclair, so different places and different layouts. Watsessing Avenue is below ground and Watchung Avenue is above, which is pretty crazy. The station's platforms are a little low platforms. Just be careful how you walk. Yeah, don't do what I do. Mostly all the stations are low most of all the stations are low platforms because they can't get elevated platforms, unfortunately, because of their design and I guess costs. Like Mountain Station, it has some cool nearby area like a park. Like Mountain Avenue.
Alright, there goes the train to New York Penn Station. It's heading to New York, so it's gonna go to New York and whatnot. There it goes, heading to New York.
Walnut Street. So it's a curved station that is not accessible. It does have some nearby places to visit, but the station is pretty simple and it used to be one of the stops on the old Boonton line before splitting off to the current Boonton line. So yeah, on the old Boonton line there were stops like Benson Street in Glen Ridge, Road Street in Bloomfield, North Newark, and I believe some other stops I do not know of, but they all go to Hoboken on a unique track, like when this old Boonton line was a thing. It's the last station to have a railroad crossing inbound, since the stations past Bay Street to like New York do not really have a railroad cross. Well, actually, since the stations past Bay Street to Newark Broad Street do not have a railroad crossing at all, so yeah, I'm not sure about Secaucus. I think it did, or maybe it's way too elevated. You know what? Yeah, this is like the last station in Montclair, or for the Montclair Boonton line to have railroad crossings like past Bay Street, like due to how they were positioned with the stations and whatnot. Anyway, going on to my favorite station, Bay Street Station. As I said, for the Montclair State University station, this station is one of the few on the Montclair Boonton line to have fully accessible platforms from the end to the other end, and not mini high platforms. This station is an underrated gem to me, as it's the first station you're greeted with when you enter Montclair from the Glen side. I love this station for its high platforms. I love this station for its high platforms. I love it for its high platforms. I love this station for its goddamn high platforms, nearby parking lot, its elevators, and really good glass passway above, meaning you could record trains from above. You could take pictures from above. On the weekend, this station itself is a terminus for Hoboken shuttles that are 2 hours per train, unfortunately. There were a few times where train service was rerouted to New York, adding 2 stops to the weekend shuttle for the Montclair Boonton line. The special service being Bay Street to New York every 2 hours though, which is pretty fucked up. Glen Ridge. So yeah, Bay Street stations to trains. Okay, so stations past Bay Street to Hoboken are weekday and weekend train stations, which are good. I just wish, the trains were at least more improved for the weekend schedule for the Montclair Boonton line. Anyway, Glen Ridge. The station has better announcements here. It even tells you when the train is coming. It tells you where it's gonna stop at, and oh my god, I just love hearing it. Dude, I wish all the other stations had those. But yeah, the station has better announcements here, while the other stations say the next train is expected to arrive. Only this one says more like listing the stops it stops at. It says the destination bound train listing the stops. It's gonna stop at. That's a freaking win. If Watsessing Avenue had that announcement, I would be very happy. Anyway, this station is really nice for its nearby Glen Park. And yes, the dangerous park with the insane slopes. Kinda dangerous, but just know what you're doing, alright? The downside is the station is under a bridge and it's not really accessible. Its nearby station Bay Street outbound direction is more accessible though. Bloomfield, not Bloomfield Avenue. Bloomfield. It's the station at my favorite park. You know the park where I just like to hang out, capture trains, just speeding through the park, and I guess just be me. Yeah. The Watsessing Park. The station is really well placed next to Bloomfield shops and even a great park in my opinion, which I've been to countless times. I love the way the tracks are placed in between the parks, kind of separating the park altogether, which is really perfect. The station itself is not accessible like the majority of the stations on the Montclair Boonton line, but that's alright, the park makes up for it. It is aging pretty badly though, so it could use some modernization, like high accessible platforms and elevators, and maybe a waiting area, which I could see possibly happening because of the like abandoned space that's like perfect for making a new waiting room. The station is not at the Bloomfield Avenue light rail station, by the way. This station is like by Grove Street. Like it's more closer to the Grove Street than to the Bloomfield Avenue that's by fucking Brentwood Park. This station has a lot of bus connections here, which is really cool. While they're not all in one place, they're a little scattered around the park, but it's really awesome with the insane connections.
Oh, wow. Nice. Perfect. Well, that was a perfect morning to...
Stations after Watsessing Avenue are all major NJ transit stations. Newark Broad Street, Secaucus Junction, and New York Penn Station are all transfer stations and pretty well known for where they serve. Yes, they are literally transfer stations. All three of them have like transfers that get better and better and better. Newark Broad Street is the one with the least amount of transfers though, but it's still really good. Anyway, Watsessing Avenue. I've been to the station so many goddamn times. And it's the last station before entering downtown Newark. Originally called Doddstown according to Wikipedia, the station is at Watsessing Avenue, which is why it probably got named to that. The station is below ground, unlike Bloomfield, which is elevated. I personally love this station. It's the quickest way to get to New York and Hoboken, in my opinion. Some trains skip the station and head straight ahead to Bloomfield or Bay Street or Newark Broad Street. This station has no elevated platforms, which I wish it did, and better announcements too.
Stations to be at, with the other favorite being Bay Street Station. Alright, I am at Watsessing Avenue, and I believe I'm like 2 minutes, well, I think 5 minutes here before the train arrived. Okay, so I'm here for the train to go to Dover, not to go to Dover, just to go to Watchung Avenue. But yeah, there it is, Watsessing Avenue, and all of its pretty much cool glory. One of my favorite stations to come at, even though it's kind of falling apart, but hey, it's cool. Stop, let's do this. Alright, let's see if they're leaving. Wow. Let the people inside the train be like, I'm famous.
Newark Broad Street. This station is a shared station with the Morrison Essex line and Gladstone branch. Honestly, the Gladstone branch, it's pretty chill. Newark Broad Street is a clock tower station, which I love clock tower stations. The station has elevated platforms, so yay! Walking into the train. I wish all of the stations on the Montclair line had elevated platforms. It has elevators, of course, and is the only two stations to serve downtown Newark, the other being Newark Penn Station, and has a light rail service, which conveniently goes to Newark Penn Station for easy transfers mostly. I like the station being a good transfer point for buses to various towns, which is really cool. Like, they go to Newark Penn Station, to the airport, I think, or to like various places like Lyndhurst, Hackettstown. I meant to say Hackettstown. Where else? Bloomfield, Parsippany, Patterson. Yeah, all those places. This is the last station where New York and Hoboken trains split because the tracks don't really go to the same place. For trains going to Hoboken, they just go to Hoboken. For trains going to New York, they stop at Secaucus and then they go to New York, or they just skip Secaucus altogether. This station also has express trains that skip it, like the Gladstone go to New York, because I guess Gladstone just doesn't like stopping here to go to New York. I don't know. The station overall is very good for transferring for Morris trains to Morristown, Dover, Summit, and Gladstone, because those are Morristown stations. And yeah, Dover is technically a Montclair Boonton line station, but it's just it's really rare for Montclair trains to go to Dover.
I got it.
Secaucus Junction, upper level, and I guess I could include some pictures of the lower level with some videos of the lower level. You know what? Yeah. Big transfer station, servicing the Northeast Corridor, North Jersey coastline, Raritan Valley, Morrison Essex, Gladstone if it ever stops here, the Montclair Boonton line, all on the upper level. For the lower level, it stops. For the lower level, it serves the main line, which is the yellow line, the Bergen line, which is I guess grayish line, the Paxack Valley line, Meadowlands Sports line, and the Port Jervis line. The upper level is New York trains mainly, and the lower level is basically Hoboken trains mainly. I love how the station is the place if you want to see trains constantly. Like, you are going to never miss a train. I think it's really impossible to like go to Secaucus and then just see no trains at all. Unless of course the station is like out of service, or if there's like a weekend, or if there's like a whole NJ Transit strike. Like that'll ever happen again, am I right? It's great for taking pictures, it's great for transferring, especially the part where you have to walk from like the lower level all the way to the third floor to go to the second floor. I know that sounds stupid, but that's literally what you have to do here. And that's the only problem I have with the station. To go to the third floor and then just go down again. So you have to go up and then down to get to the platform you want to get to. But other than that, biggest transfer station for most of the NJ Transit lines that stop here. The Atlantic City line does not really stop here. I think that's the only line that doesn't stop here, which sucks. Reason being, it's all the way in South Jersey. Most of the NJ Transit lines are in North Jersey, so yeah. Amtrak does go past the station as of right now, but like in the future, I think it's gonna stop going into Secaucus to express through the station because it's getting its own bridge, which is really cool. I believe there was this one time I saw a train that was a Hoboken via Patterson train. Don't know why, but hey, was that a special service train? I'm not sure. That's crazy. Over. But it just said Trenton. I don't get this. Yo, I'm confused.
Sick. Alright.
Please stand back from the yellow line and please watch the gap on boarding the train.
Alright. Yes, sir. I made it to Secaucus. Yeah. Alright. Gotcha.
Passengers, now riding on track G is the New Jersey Transit 915 inbound train to Hoboken, making stops at Hoboken. Please stand back from the yellow line and please watch the gap while boarding the train.
Alright, so this is Secaucus. Yep. Just to clarify, this is not another station, just Secaucus. Yeah. I'm assuming it's the last train from last time. Track G at Secaucus. Hey! Probably wait till the train actually comes. Dope. No, let's go. Hold on. That's pretty dope. And let me just get the Hoboken.
New York Penn Station, the big terminal for most NJ Transit lines heading to New York. Very big transfer station, servicing every single NJ. It serves every single NJ Transit line except the main Bergen and Paxcac Valley lines, and of course the Meadowlands and Port Jervis line do not come here at all. But yeah, it serves the Northeast Corridor, North Jersey Coastline, Raritan Valley, Morrison Essex Line, and Gladstone, which is cool. I like how most trains heading to New York have at least 2 to 3 common stops with another line. But yeah, this station serves the Montclair Boonton line and all the other transfers here. Amtrak stops here, and it could continue into New York, like somewhere in New York and past New York. Long Island Railroad / Metro North serves this station. Pat train is nearby, but it's not really connected here. It's not connected here. Yeah, you have to walk a street. Considering how New York is known for being 34th Street for Penn Station, New York, the Pat train New York station is 33rd Street. It's not that bad. It's just a 1 street walk. Go walk. MTA New York does stop at 34th Street, New York, which is really cool. This station is one of the only underground stations, I believe, for I guess in the North Newark division, not including South Jersey and whatnot. New York Penn Station is a really big maze, and like a maze, do not get lost.
Hello, New York City. I couldn't do a scream because I just don't wanna scream.
Hoboken Terminal. Honestly, fuck it. This station, it's basically a Montclair station, and MSU trains do terminate here. You know what? Yeah. Big terminal for the Hoboken division trains. MSU bound trains do originate here, so might as well talk about the big station by the Hudson River with the beautiful clock tower, separating it from New York with the Hudson River, which you can see from afar. The terminal serves the Montclair Boonton line, Morrison Essex line, Main line, Bergen line, Pascack Valley line, Meadowland Sport line, Raritan Valley line for inbound trains only, and Port Jervis line. Yeah, there's this one train that goes from Raritan to Hoboken, which doesn't make sense. But anyway, the entire station for the NJ Transit platforms is all low platforms. Very unusual for a terminal, since, you know, you probably expect it to have high accessible platforms like the PAT train here, which is underground. And it does connect to New York. Like, there's PAT trains that go from World Trade Center to Hoboken, and Hoboken to like 33rd Street. The Hudson Brigham Light Rail also stops here, which has Tunnelly Avenue bound trains and H Street trains. The Montclair Boonton line, Morrison Essex and Gladstone branch, which like originate from here, their next stop is Newark Broad Street for outbound directions. The main Bergen, Pascack, Meadowlands, and Port Jervis lines next stop is Secaucus lower level for like outbound destinations, and the Raritan Valley, which only travels to Hoboken, and I don't think there's any like known time as of like 2025 where the train just leaves Hoboken to Newark Penn Station, but I assume the first stop would be Newark Penn Station. And with that, that is basically I visited every Montclair State Montclair station to New York featuring Hoboken. That is all for this video. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go sleep or something.